Today we're going to be working on another CRV rear end. I know I've covered this in a couple videos. I think I've done about 3 on this subject, but I recently did a video where I actually had my car on the dyno and I showed you guys what my upgrades could do. And a lot of people have been asking, and today we're going to actually do the identical stuff that I did to the differential that was on my car for that dyno sessions. So I've been working on different things with these rear ends. I've been playing with them, learning new things. So I'm pretty sure this upgrade, you know, it will work for the foreseeable future for these until I develop some more. But I'm going to show you guys the spring and the shim that I developed probably, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It's a little while ago, and I learned a lot with these diffs by taking them apart and driving the car and seeing what feels better and what doesn't. And you know, this will be the final iteration of this. So let's open this thing. So I'm gonna show you guys step by step everything you got to do to put this in. I probably will be selling these, so you can just message me. I'll have the info in the description, and yeah, let's get this going. Okay, so let's start with the more difficult one first. We have to install these 2 springs, and then we have to drill out the oil passage. So, flip this bad boy over. Remember, there's lots of fluid in here. And there's 3 8mm. Be careful with these. It's very easy to strip the housing. These are quite small bolts. And then there's some dowels in here. See? Oop. Yep, like I said, be careful with the dowels. Okay, grab another one of these. There's oil everywhere. Okay, so we have 2 springs. We have the pressure relief spring, and we have the 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive servo. So I'm going to take these out for now. Okay, so you can see right here, a little spring, and then the big spring. Okay, so just so that I don't lose any of this stuff, I'm going to put this back together. Okay, you got that, Nelson?
Getting it.
And then we're going to flip this one over, and we're going to take the top. Okay? I'm going to take the pump out, if I can get it. Oh, come on, dude. There we go. Take the pump out. Okay, now I have to get this piece out, this little servo. Yeah, you're just gonna have to work with it, try to get it out. Come on, bad boy. There we go. Yeah, you just gotta kind of play with it. Eventually it'll come out. It's just a big ass O-ring. There we go. Okay. And then what we're concerned with is this little tiny hole right here. See that? So I'm just gonna grab a drill and drill it out. Doesn't have to be crazy. We want to at least double the size. that hole. See how much bigger it is now? So now we got a lot more oil flow. We got more pressure, so we can get more flow. Then we gotta clean it out. That's the back side. Okay. Make sure there's no metal debris in here. Okay. And then this bad boy can go back in. See? Easy peasy. Okay. Now, since we got all these stupid springs just wherever they want, oh, and you gotta put the pump back, obviously. And then you gotta center it with, it's gonna end up centering on this housing right here. So, what I'm gonna do, okay, is, oops, we gotta line these up right here. So what you can do is you can see the hole with the two springs right there. Oh yeah, it's got a mirror. Yeah, I think this one goes right here. Yeah, so it goes right here. So you gotta consider gravity when you're putting this back together. Oop, there's that spring. Okay, and then we could put these. Oh, you know what? This one. Okay. All this freaking oil. That's why I laid down some towels. I knew this was going to be messy. Okay. So, just make sure that when you put everything together, make sure that this pump spins. There we go. Okay, now that we got that done, let's put those springs in. So the larger spring is going to go on this big ball bearing right there, and then the smaller spring is going to go into the servo right here, and then that's it. We just got to put this cover on, but you got to remember that this pressure relief spring is much stiffer. So it's going to be a lot more difficult to get that bad boy to go down there. And then don't make it too tight. There we go. You know, let me do this by hand. I just want to make sure. Want to make sure it's tight, but not over tight. Oh yeah, those are pretty snug. Go. Okay. So these we don't need. As you can see, I didn't put this back in, but it's because the springs are a different diameter. But it don't matter. It just sits up against the housing anyways. And then once that's done, we just got to make sure we put the pieces back in right here. This goes for the. You can hear that pump. That goes for the clutch pack, and then this little pin goes on the back pump. And then let's even this out, because this pin sits with the pump. There we go. You can even hear it. So once you put it back on, just tighten these bolts. And this bad boy fell off, so just put that back. There you go. Now that the pump assembly is done, let's put the shim in this thing. So let's take it apart on the table and I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do, and then I'm just gonna reassemble it. So there's 2 snap rings. You gotta take the top one off. Careful because this stuff is under pressure. There we go. Okay. Take the snap ring off, and then this is the clutch for the ramp assembly right here. Okay. So we're going to take that out, and then we have the spring that goes right there, and then we have the factory shim. Okay. I include a thicker shim in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this shim that comes with the clutch and we're going to put it on the bottom. As you can see, there's movement, so we're going to put the shim underneath the second C-clip. Okay. And also too, you could use to put this back together. This spring has quite a bit of pressure, so I usually just use my press to just make my life easier. I mean, I'm sure if you had a friend to, come on dude, to help you out, then I'm sure that you could do it pretty easily. There we go. See? So you take the C-clip out, and you take the other shim, and you put it on top. Come on dude, let's go back in. Yeah, I'll show you the back side. See, there's 4 little tabs, and they have to fit into that centerpiece right there. You see? So, oh, and these are the clutches, by the way. Let me line this up. I think it's gonna go like this. Yeah, there we go. And then that's actually not far enough. There we go. You gotta push this down all the way. There we go. Yeah, like I said, if I was using my press, it would make it easier, but I'm just gonna show you guys that it is possible by hand. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh, one-handed. That was difficult.
Dude, you manned it though. That was nice.
Yeah, see right here? You can see now we have the shim underneath the C-clip. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the new shim, the thicker one. It goes on top, and then we have the spring, and then we have the clutch for the ramp assembly. And then make sure you line up those right there, and then just put this bad boy back in. But I think this one, I don't think this one I'm going to be able to do by hand. I mean, we'll try. Yeah, no, this one's actually pretty tight. I'm gonna have to use the press for that one. Let's go over here, dude, to the press. There. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna manhandle this real quick. So we gotta push this spring down so that we can get this clip in. There we go. See, if you look right here, you can see the groove for the C-clip. There we go. She's in.
Is it okay if I say presto?
Yeah, presto changeo ninja. Okay. So now let's put the bearings back in the ramp assembly. Okay. Okay. And then, see right here, you got to line it up with those. So it might be a little tricky. I think I did it right. And then you got to put the cover back on. And then don't forget the bearing. There's a little needle bearing. It goes right here. Otherwise you're going to be hearing some funny noises. And then just line up these little tabs right here. Okay, watch. I'm gonna rotate it and then boom.
Nice.
That's it. Okay, so now all I have to do is just put some silicone on here, put the front nose on. There's a little O-ring right here that seals on there, a little plastic retainer, and then the washer, and then that's it. That's how you install, what was I gonna call this? The PTU, power transfer upgrade. So, yeah. This diff right here came from a 2007 to 2011 also, forgot to mention that. That's what I would recommend using. Honda added the ramp assembly, I think in 2005 was the first year when they did the revamp of the CRV. But it's just easier to find the 07 to 11. There's a lot of them out there. They're cheap. I wouldn't recommend using the older ones or the Element ones. This is, in my opinion, the only one you should use. So you can pick these up at your local junkyards. Pretty easy. And install these little upgrades. And on the dyno, I was seeing 155 horsepower going to the rear. So, I mean, that does work. People like to say the CRVs don't hold power. Well, 155 horsepower is pretty nice. So if you want to consider it, you know, 300 horsepower on the street's pretty nice. And it's kind of difficult to get traction with 300 horsepower on a front-wheel drive Honda. But now if you're pushing 450 horsepower, that's a big difference. So, yeah. Hope I showed you guys something good today. And we got some more upgrades coming. I'm working on some more stuff for these diffs. And yeah, we'll get it going. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.